Hi, everyone. It's nice to be here again today. My name is Dr. Laura Jaget. I am the host of this show, the How to Life podcast, and you're listening to episode 64 right now. This is going to be a solo show, and it's going to be a little on the shorter side. And the reason for that is actually an example of the topic of today's show. Today, I want to discuss the importance of slowing down before you run yourself into the ground. I have to admit it. I've been running pretty hard for the last couple of months, and it's finally caught up with me. In the past, it used to be worse. I've run myself into the ground more than once. It was not fun, and I was forced to stop. At least now, I can slow down before it actually takes me down. Admitting that you're tired can be a big challenge for many. It always was for me, but I'm learning and changing now. Better late than never, right? But what about you? Can you relate to this? I think this is a topic that resonates with many, probably more than who care to admit it. But admitting that you need a break or a vacation or a nap or just to move a little slower is a huge life skill. It really is a skill that can be learned. I'm not sure if pacing ourselves is even innate to us because we all want to win. The term rat race, the grind, climbing the corporate ladder, keeping up with the Joneses, you snooze, you lose. Where did these terms come from? I think it means that we buy into the notion that we have to fight to get ahead or to win, to be the best. So, what's wrong with winning and being the best? Nothing. I like to win. I set high goals for myself and I enjoy meeting them and, better yet, exceeding them. It is a great goal. It gives us purpose and drive. We all want what we want, and people are willing to work hard. But at what cost? Do or die? I think the real question is, what is the driving force? What are the reasons that people keep grinding away? If you answered, well, for the fun of it, then I would say that is the correct answer. Yes, it is fun to reach that goal. It's fun to set out to do it, especially in the early stages. But wouldn't it be awesome if it were fun along the way too? I look back at my life, which has been objectively a life full of wins. But I cannot honestly say that it was consciously fun along the way. I didn't even consider that because I didn't know about it. I had missions to accomplish and I set out to accomplish them. Isn't that what many do? You set the goals, or sometimes the goals were set for you. You tick them off once achieved, happy for that day or even half a day, but maybe not satisfied because there's still so much more to do and it's on to the next thing. New goals are fun. The grind is not fun. The journey to the goal can be really fun, but when it's a grind, that's a drag. There are challenges and that sort of takes the fun out of it sometimes. If that's how it's feeling to you, don't despair. Nothing has gone wrong. Nothing is going wrong. This awareness is a gift, and it's an opportunity to reassess and refresh. There's a very common attribute among those who are always, quote, too busy. The strong ones, the leaders, the ones that everyone depends on and looks up to. These people are often the ones who love to create, and they delight in watching the clay that they're molding turn into something magnificent. Everyone is amazed. But now, maybe you perceive that there are expectations of you, and you aren't sure if you can do it again. That's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of unnecessary pressure, and it can definitely muck up your creative flow and make this creative process dreary. And this often leads to you feeling pressure to keep producing, keep showing up, keep everyone impressed. The current is moving rapidly, but you're struggling to keep up. You want to stop and rest a bit, but you feel you can't, or you won't, but you're not sure why. It's a really good thing to know the why. And here are some reasons why. Ask yourself, what is driving you? Do you fear falling behind and someone else is going to win? Do you fear letting others down? Do you fear that you'll be judged for resting or stopping? Do you believe that you and only you can keep the ship afloat? Do you feel your self-worth is proportional to how much you do? Do you work so hard in order to receive validation from others? Or are you keeping so busy so that you don't have to think about things you don't want to think about or acknowledge something about yourself? These are all negative reasons to keep pushing beyond your limits. And honestly, they're trauma responses. But that's not what this talk is about. It's about recognizing when you need to slow down or even stop for a while. If you ignore the early warning signs, don't worry, they'll get bigger until you are forced to acknowledge it. Athletes get injured, people get sick, and what happens then? You're forced to rest until you get well. You're sidelined, and guess what? The world goes on, and quite well, too. This is not to be cruel, because you are important and invaluable, and the world does need you. But it would benefit more from your best self. Don't be a slave version of yourself that is in crisis mode and not creating mode. You have to take care of yourself. No one else is going to do it for you. You have to validate yourself. It's no one else's job to do that for you. You prove your worth to yourself, and when that is so satisfying to you, others will notice your confidence, see how you value yourself, and see your vibe. Then you'll get the accolades you deserve. But the funny thing is, you won't care. You don't need to hear it from anyone else. Weird, huh? That is my little pep talk for today. I'm feeling a little tired, so I'm going to slow down for a bit. This podcast episode might even be a day late, and I'm okay with that. But you're listening to it now, and that means it did get done eventually, and nothing was lost, and no one was the worse for it. Not even me. The world kept on turning. It always does. I will be back next week, a bit more rested, a little lighter, and with more great information on how to life gracefully and with style. Why? Because I got this. We got this. Take care, everyone.